right, we're moving into lesson 6, and this is solving inequalities by addition or subtraction. I think you'll find this very similar to solving equations, but let's just talk about what an inequality means. So our real-world link is about mail, and a first-class stamp can be used for letters and packages weighing 13 ounces or less. Fisher is mailing pictures to his grandmother and only has a first-class stamp. His envelope weighs 2 ounces. Follow the steps to determine how much the pictures can weigh so that Fisher can use the stamp. Step 1. Let X represent the weight of the pictures. So that was 2. Write and solve an equation to find the maximum weight of the pictures. So this was 13 because that's how much it could be. And if we solve for X, we know we subtract 2 on both sides, and that would give us 11. But notice it said that it could weigh 13 ounces or less. So we want to then not use the equal sign that was in step 1. So we're going to replace it with the less than or equal to sign. So now our answer would be X has to be less than or equal to 11. So when you read that, it could be 11 ounces for the weight. It could be 10 ounces. It could be 9 ounces, and so on. It just has to be less than or equal to 11. So you'll notice now with inequalities, you have more than one answer. Okay, so go on to the next page. So we talked about the addition property of equality and the subtraction property of equality. Well, there's also this addition and subtraction property of inequalities. So basically it's the same thing as if you add or subtract the same number from each side, the inequality remains true. Just like when we did it with equations, the equation remained true. All right, here in this chart is your symbols that you need to be aware of and the words that go with them. So take a minute to read through those so that you know which symbol you're using when you see which words. All right, let's go to the next page and try some of these. So in letter A on the next page, it does say solve each inequality. We're also going to check them. You can still draw your line down. We are still solving for A, so you want to add 3 on both sides. So now A is less than 11. So notice our answer is not 11. Our answer has to be less than 11. So when you check this, you have to pick a number that's less than 11. If you pick 11, you're going to get 8 is less than 8 in your check step, and that is not a true statement. So pick any number that's less than 11. And I'm going to pick 9, okay? If I plug 9 in, does that make a true statement? Well, 9 minus 3 is 6. Is 6 less than 8? Yes, so you know then that this is a true statement, that anything less than 11 would fit into that inequality. Okay, let's look at letter B. We're solving for y. We need to subtract 0.4 on both sides. You get y is greater than or equal to 6.6. So you have to pick a number that's greater than or equal to 6.6. And we're going to plug that in. I'm going to pick 7 and see if that's greater than or equal to 7. Well, 7 plus 0.4 is 7.4. Is that greater than or equal to 7? Yes. So this is a good solution. All right, so then we can go into learning about how do we graph these. So let's first solve letter C at the bottom here, and then I'll show you how to graph it. Okay, we want h by itself. We're going to subtract 4, This gives us h is greater than 0. So we have to pick a number greater than 0. I'm going to use 1. Does 1 plus 4 equal a number greater than 4? And it does. 5 is greater than 4. That's a good statement. All right, so we have to graph h is greater than 0. So you can draw your number line. All right, now if you have a symbol that is greater than or less than, okay, you're going to use an open circle. That means that 0 cannot be the answer. It has to be greater than, and because it's greater than, I'm going to draw my arrow to the right. Okay, let's look at letter D. We want x by itself, so we're going to add 6. We get x is less than or equal to 10. So we need to pick a number less than or equal to 10. I'm going to pick 9. Does 9 minus 6 equal a number less than or equal to 4? Well, that's 3. Is that less than or equal to 4? Yes. So this is a good solution. So when we graph, okay, I have 10, so I'm going to start at 7. Don't always have to start at 0. Now, this one is a less than or equal to. So if you have a less than or equal to or a greater than or equal to, you're going to use a closed circle because it could be that number. So we're going to do a closed circle on 10. Because it's less than or equal to, it's going to go to the left. That means anything 10 or below could be an answer to x. So make sure you have this and this written down somewhere so that you know what type of circle you're using when you are graphing. All right, so then you can write your own inequalities. This example here, Dylan has $18 to ride go-karts and play games at the state fair. Suppose the go-karts cost $5.50. Write and solve an inequality to find the most he can spend on the games. So the cost of the go-kart was $5.50. Plus sign, the cost of the games, we don't know, so we're going to use X. And that has to be less than or equal to the $18 that he has. And then you would just solve and check the normal way that we solved and checked our equations and the examples above.